Batman Incorporated number 9 begins with the Bat family laying Damian to rest. Bruce struggles to find the words as he attempts to give his eulogy, but he swears that Damian's death will be avenged. Alfred attempts to comfort Bruce, but he blames Alfred for allowing Damian to leave the Batcave. Bruce simply tells him to take a vacation. The issue then shifts to the immediate aftermath of Damian's death. Batman goes head-on against the Heretic. While Batman does some damage, the Heretic begins to overwhelm him. He is about to kill Bruce when Nightwing jumps in and saves him. Together, the two try their best to take on the Heretic, but they still aren't enough. Red Robin, Tim Drake, buys them some breathing room by creating cover fire with a tank. Batman and his allies use the moment to retreat from the battle. We also see some of the other Batman Inc. members in this issue as well. In Britain, the entire country mourns the loss of Knight. Squire decides that she will take up the title of Knight and fight with Dark Ranger. In the Prime Minister's office, officials discuss whether the use of a Lazarus Pit is feasible. Back in Gotham, Talia is upset that the Heretic killed Damian without her giving the order. As she berates him, he stands up to her saying, "I am Batman now." As Talia's organization spreads chaos, the mayor of Gotham bows to her demands and declares Batman Inc. and all Bat-related equipment banned from the city. This leaves Gordon feeling a little uncomfortable. Jason Todd, as Wingman, finds himself captured by unknown forces. The rest of Batman Incorporated decides that they will continue the fight even though they are outlawed by the mayor. Batman has also made it clear that he wants them to sit this battle out as well. However, everyone feels they owe it to Damian to carry on. The issue ends with us seeing Bruce alone. He takes care of his injuries, suits up, and then prepares to avenge his fallen son.
So that final image of Bruce with the bat surrounding him, that image just conveys so much angst. He's just yelling, he's letting out all his emotions.
Yeah, it definitely seems like Batman's about to just go on a rampage.
Yeah, and it really fits in with a lot of the other Requiem titles where Bruce is kind of just going out there for so long, not going without rest, going without food really, and just kicking the shit out of people.
And just being like motivated by anger rather than justice or something else.
Yeah. Normally Bruce's fighting style is like a sort of a controlled, rage, and he's very precise. But now it seems like it's just let loose, everything's gone.
Exactly. We also get to see a lot of the other Bat family members' reaction this issue as well. They kind of had a final send-off for Damian. What do you think?
One thing I liked about this issue was that you get to see the immediate reaction to after Damian is dead and what everyone does right afterwards.
That was a great scene, like where it's Red Robin and Nightwing and Batman, and they're like just getting kicked around by the Leviathan. But they're like, "We gotta get out of here." And they're like, "Make sure we grab his body."
Yeah, that was funny, and I liked how Batman is the first really to come back and really try to fight
Leviathan.
And he gets his ass handed to him, and then Nightwing swoops in, and then you have the tank.
Yeah, Red Robin in the tank. See, that's why he's the smart one, because he realized, I'm not going to fight this guy straight up. But I was actually kind of glad that Batman didn't just beat the Leviathan right there. It was sort of what I was expecting. And the fact that it didn't happen makes me like it more.
Yeah, it's not like an easy fix.
Yeah.
Or not he's not getting his catharsis right away. He's got to wait, got to really build up emotion towards when he has that showdown. And in this issue, we see how the Leviathan also seems to be growing. He seems to be getting sort of out of control from...
Yeah, even Talia, which is actually a scene I liked, where she seemed a little remorseful at Damian's death.
Yeah, and she says that she didn't want this.
Well, I think she's flip-flopped on it quite a bit over Batman Incorporated.
Mm-hmm.
She's obviously pissed that Damian kind of chose Batman over her, but at the same time, she doesn't want to kill him. I think at the core, she still loved Damian, no matter what she said.
And I think the Leviathan, he repeatedly calls her mother, and she says, "Don't call me that." And so there is kind of that jealousy where he feels that maybe she had some feelings for Damian that he's not getting.
Right. Even though he's just bested Damian and Batman.
Yeah.
And he even says, "I am Batman now."
Yeah, he's trying to step into his father's role, I guess, if you want to say.
It'll be really interesting to see if that's the future we saw in Batman Incorporated number 5, I think, where it was post-apocalyptic Gotham, where the only sane people are in Arkham Asylum, and it's just Batman guarding it. And we thought it was Damian guarding it, but maybe that's Leviathan.
That's true. This puts a whole new perspective on that issue.
So, again, we'll just have to wait and see. So we also got to see what the rest of the Bat family and kind of Batman Incorporated as a whole is up to now. First let's look at Batman Incorporated. They seem to be being fought on all fronts. Even in these other countries, Leviathan is striking at them.
Yeah, it's way more widespread than we initially thought. We thought it was really just an assault on Gotham and an assault on America, but it's really just an assault all over the place, and it's really hitting Batman Incorporated everywhere. It's really a fight on all fronts.
And it just reinforces the idea of how personal this is for Talia. This is her personal war on Batman, on Bruce. And I like that. One Batman Incorporated member who really sticks out is Squire. I think 3 issues ago, Knight got killed by Leviathan.
Mm-hmm.
And now she seems to be ready to take up the mantle of Knight.
I'm not really sure how I feel about that. The one thing I really did like about that whole sequence in Britain was that they mentioned Lazarus Pits.
Yeah.
And to me, that's like right after Damian's death. It's like opening the doors, like a tad, just saying, "Hey, there's Lazarus Pit out there somewhere. Who knows what's gonna happen?"
So you think they'll let Damian be revived through a Lazarus Pit?
I think there's a definite possibility that they've even mentioned it.
I think that really goes against like what Bruce would do. Like Bruce knows that's fundamentally wrong.
Maybe it's not going to be Bruce that's going to do it. It could be other people. There's countless other people that have been affected.
I mean, the people.
And maybe it's even going to be Talia that decides, hey, let's use a Lazarus Pit to, maybe win back Damian's allegiance that way.
Perhaps. The person who brought it up, I think, was like the British government or somebody like that, and maybe they're going to use it on Knight, which is what they seemed to be implying.
Yeah.
So we also got to see Damian's funeral, and it's in attendance were obviously Bruce, but also Tim Drake, Dick Grayson, and Alfred. Initially, I was kind of shocked that the Red Hood wasn't there, but we kind of get to see what happens to him.
Yeah, he's obviously captured, and he's going to need a rescue.
Or maybe that's part of his plan. I mean, it'll definitely be a future storyline, I think.
I think one of the cool things in this issue was Bruce's interaction with Alfred, how he actually tells him that you really shouldn't have let Damian go, and I don't know if there's some actual resentment there, but it seems like it. And then he even says, go on vacation.
Yeah, I think that's just him lashing out, because I think he fundamentally knows that it's not Alfred's fault, but he needs somebody to blame.
I think it's kind of a nice way of saying that I know it's not really your fault, and I can't really blame you, but I want to, and I don't want to hurt our relationship, so it's best if we keep our distance. Type of deal.
So as a grade for Batman Incorporated number 9, what would you give it?
I'd give it a 4 out of 5. The one thing I really liked about this issue was that we finally get to see what happens right after Damian's death. And the other Requiem issues that we've seen, they've really dealt with what's happened far in the future. I know it's kind of unfair because they can't really say the direct plot line for what happens at Batman Incorporated, but I really just wanted to see the direct reactions right after his death.
I'd give this issue a 3.5. I didn't like it as much as the last one. I feel this is kind of the calm between the storm. Like, we have Damian's death as a big event on one side, and then we're going to have probably Batman's rampage against Talia on the other side, so this is kind of just a filler issue in my opinion. So thanks for watching B3 Comics review of Batman Incorporated number 9. Before we go, though, we got a question for you guys.
Do you think that they're going to use their Lazarus Pit on Damian?
Leave your answer below in the comments, and please like us on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks!